So I was talking with a friend of mine on Facebook, and he says he has an irrational fear of communism. I started talking to him, and I said, well, yes, in practice, communism is one of the scariest things in political earth. However, in principle, the basic foundations of it is redistributing the wealth. That's not so bad. I'm almost kind of for it, in the form of higher taxes. So we kind of got into a little tiny discussion that got cut off very quickly, because he replied saying, not arguing, like making sure that I knew that he wasn't trying to start an argument with me. But he said that, well, if you look at Stalin, all these people got killed from the redistribution of the food. And while that's very true, I went on and said something else. Then he said, I'm not listening. You have your opinions, I have mine. Let's just keep it that way. And he said he didn't read it. He said, not reading. I think that is one of the worst things in the world that someone could say, that you're not listening to opinions. Why? I said, there is absolutely nothing to fear. I will not get mad at you. There's no way in hell that I could ever get mad at someone for expressing their opinions. Now, if your opinions were that I'm ugly and stupid, I mean, I might get a little ticked off there, but that's about the limit. That's about the limit of when I will get mad if someone expresses their opinions to me. But he was afraid of the argument. So I started chatting with him away from the comments, just personal chatting with him. And I said, why are you afraid of arguing with someone? There's no way in hell I'm going to get mad at you. And his response really set me back. He says, I'm not afraid of hurting your feelings. I'm not afraid of you getting mad. I'm afraid of being wrong. He said, I'm afraid of being wrong if he got into an argument. That about floored me. That really about floored me to the ground. Phil Helene's, this is a video response to your video, 3 truly magic words, try 'em. I think that is one of the most prophetic things that I've ever heard. I think that all of your videos are, truthfully. I cannot express how much I want to know if I'm right or not about anything. It doesn't matter about communism or the existence of God. I want to know if I'm right. I want to know about the world at its fullest volume that there is. If given the option of knowing every single thing in the earth, every single thing in the universe, if there are more universes, if time travel is possible, all of that, I would take it in a heartbeat. I would jump into that TARDIS in a split second. I don't care. I would do anything to know everything. But this friend of mine was afraid of being wrong. Now, that was about the saddest thing ever. I asked him, like, well, what's purpose? What's your purpose in life? Mine is to know things. Mine is to learn. And he says his is to make the world a better place, which can be done so, I added, by penicillin, by landing on the moon, by MRI machines. Knowledge and modernization help that goal. And he agreed with me there, and to be honest, I'm not depicting him in the fullest light. He did agree with me on a lot of points, but we started getting into the conversation of, would you want to know everything if you could? If you were given the choice by God, and because this is a religious friend, I said, if God said, I will tell you absolutely everything in the entire world, every single fact that exists in the whole world will be yours to know. Would you, my friend, take it? Would you take that knowledge? He said no. He said no. Now, wow, there was nothing that there was nothing that this friend specifically said that he wouldn't take. It was more of a general answer. And I asked, well, is it because God you don't want to know the things that God knows, because only God can know, because He's God, and you shouldn't want to aspire to be God. That to be honest, this isn't what this friend was definitely thinking, but this really got me into a tizzy of what if there are people out there like that, and I think there are. I think that there are people out in the world who, given the choice of having every single piece of knowledge in the entire world that's been learned and that hasn't been learned, they wouldn't take it, because that would be trying to be a god, and that's wrong. If there are people like that, and I think there are, that is, number one, hands down, religion's most evil, most anti-society, most anti-prosperous trait ever. That is what makes religion evil. If there are people who believe that knowledge, the basic root of everything, in my opinion, the basic root of everything, knowledge, is evil and is wrong, because then you're trying to step into God's shoes. If people are anti-knowledge because of religion, that hands down, by far and away, is the absolute worst thing. Absolute worst thing, no contest, about religion. I think that it's even worse than suicide bombers. I mean, knowledge is the basis of society. I mean, being anti-knowledge is throwing us back into the Dark Ages. Now, this is a video response to Phil's video, and yeah, I think that we are generally not entirely out of the Dark Ages yet, because if there are people who think that knowledge, basic knowledge about anything, is a bad thing, people who think that the CERN reactor in Switzerland is a bad thing because we're looking into the eye of God, we're looking into God's toolbox. If people think that is a bad thing, learning is a bad thing because of religion, that is more than sad. No words. No words at all. I think that that's what makes religion evil. And to be fair, I don't think that there are a lot of people who think this. I think that this are the moderate to extreme people. But even the mild mentality that I don't want to know, because then I would be trying to become God, that mentality is anti-society. It's anti-everything. That is anti the root of my philosophy. I think that that's anti the root of most atheists' philosophy. And that should be extinguished quickly.